Welcome to Quaver TV. In today's mind-bending episode of The Broken Time Machine, our team finds themselves in a dimension where Albert Einstein never existed. Get ready to have your understanding of space and time relatively unchanged. The crisscross unit materialized with a pop and a fizzle, depositing its three occupants unceremoniously onto a bustling city sidewalk. Quaverion stumbled out first, his lab coat smoking slightly at the edges. Quaverion, well, that was a rougher landing than usual. Everyone still have all their limbs. Kelgon III emerged next, his historian's eyes already scanning their surroundings with growing concern. Kel, something's not right here. The architecture, the fashion, this looks like the mid-20th century, but there are subtle differences I can't quite place. Candace Taylor sauntered out last, casually brushing off her clothes. Candace, great, another game of Spot the Difference, historical edition. What's missing this time? The wheel, penicillin, the all-important invention of sliced bread. Kel's eyes suddenly widened in horror as he spotted a newspaper stand nearby. He rushed over, snatching up a copy and staring at it in disbelief. Kel, oh no, 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 no. This is catastrophic. Look at this headline. Naval forces struggle with navigational discrepancies in Pacific. Quaverion, what's so strange about that? Kel, don't you see? GPS systems should be commonplace by now. And look at this article about the ongoing debate over the nature of light. These are questions that should have been settled decades ago. Candace peered over his shoulder, raising an eyebrow. Candace, so, the eggheads are a little behind on their homework. What's the big deal? Kel, the big deal is that all of these advancements are directly or indirectly linked to the work of Albert Einstein. But according to this paper, he never existed. Quaverion groaned, pinching the bridge of his nose. Quaverion, wonderful. Another dimension where a key figure in history vanished. Candace, please tell me you still have the phone. Candace patted her pockets, then shrugged with a grin. Candace, sorry, Chief. Must have gotten lost in the space-time continuum. Or maybe it's just moving so fast relative to us that we can't see it. That's how it works, right? Quaverion, that's not, never mind. Looks like we're stuck here until we find it. Might as well see what kind of mess this world is in without Einstein's contributions. As they ventured further into the city, the full impact of Einstein's absence became apparent. They passed by a university where a group of physicists were engaged in a heated debate. Physicist 1, I'm telling you, the ether theory explains it all. Light must have a medium to travel through. Physicist 2, nonsense. But we can all agree that time is absolute and flows at the same rate for everyone, everywhere. Kel clutched his head in despair. Kel, this is horrible. Without Einstein's theory of relativity, our understanding of the universe is still stuck in the 19th century. Candace, on the bright side, at least we don't have to worry about time dilation ruining our synchronized watches. Quaverion, not helping, Candace. They continued their search for the phone, encountering more consequences of Einstein's non-existence. They passed a power plant still relying entirely on steam and coal, with no sign of nuclear energy. Quaverion, without E equals mc squared, the connection between mass and energy was never established. The atomic age never dawned. Candace, well, look on the bright side. No nuclear weapons, right? Kel, but also no nuclear power, no advances in particle physics, no. His voice trailed off as they approached the harbor. Ships were docking, but something seemed off about their navigation equipment. Kel, of course, without Einstein's work on the photoelectric effect, our understanding of quantum mechanics is severely limited. That means no precise atomic clocks, which means Quaverion, no GPS systems. Global navigation is still reliant on celestial observation and radio beacons. Candace, great, I've always wanted to navigate by the stars. Very romantic, don't you think? As they walked through a park, they overheard a group of students discussing recent astronomical observations. Student 1, I'm telling you, the light from that distant galaxy is behaving strangely. It's almost as if it's being bent around massive objects. Student 2, don't be ridiculous. Light travels in straight lines. Everyone knows that. Kel couldn't contain himself any longer. Kel, but it doesn't. Gravity can bend light. Einstein proved it with his theory of general relativity. The students stared at him blankly. Student 1, Ein who? Is that some obscure German physicist? Candace quickly dragged Kel away before he could cause a scene. Candace, easy there, Professor. Remember, we're just observers in this dimension. No matter how much you want to enlighten them about relativity. Quaverion, she's right, we can't interfere. We need to focus on finding that phone and getting out of here before we accidentally inspire the next Einstein and create a temporal paradox. As night fell, the team found themselves in a local diner. Instead of digital clocks, every wall featured a pendulum clock, ticking away with a synchronized rhythm that made Kel wince. Kel, don't you see how serious this is? Without Einstein, our understanding of time and space is fundamentally flawed. The GPS in our phones, the nuclear magnetic resonance used in MRI machines, even our understanding of the evolution of the universe, all of it stems from Einstein's work. Quaverion, not to mention the countless technologies we take for granted. Lasers, semiconductors, solar panels, all have roots in Einstein's photoelectric effect paper. Candace, okay, I get it. This world is living in the dark ages of physics. But can we focus on finding that phone? I'm not sure how much more of this relatively unchanging world I can take. As they prepared to leave the diner, a commotion outside caught their attention. A crowd had gathered around a wild-haired man scribbling equations on the sidewalk with chalk. Sidewalk scientists, friends, colleagues, fellow seekers of truth. I have had a revelation about the nature of space and time. They are not separate, but intertwined in a four-dimensional continuum. The crowd murmured in confusion, while our team exchanged knowing glances. Kel, it's happening again. Even without Einstein, the ideas are trying to break through. Candace, great. Should we tell him he's about half a century late to the party? Quaverion, absolutely not. We need to find that phone and get out of here before we accidentally inspire the next great physics revolution. As they slipped away from the crowd, Kel couldn't help but mutter to himself. Kel, a world without Einstein. No theory of relativity, no E equals mc squared, no revolutionary thoughts about space and time. Wait a minute, he turned to Quaverion with a look of horror. Kel, without Einstein's work on time dilation and the relativity of simultaneity, how can we be sure the crisscross unit is calibrated correctly? What if time is passing differently in our home dimension? Quaverion's face fell as the realization hit him. Quaverion, we're doomed. Candace, well, folks, looks like we'll be stuck in the physics slow lane for a while. Anyone up for inventing the theory of relativity while we're here? I hear it's all relative anyway. As the team continued their search for the elusive phone, bickering and trading quips, they remained unaware of the figure watching them from across the street. A mysterious individual with wild, white hair and a familiar mustache held up a device that looked suspiciously like their missing phone. With a mischievous grin, he scribbled E equals mc squared on a nearby wall and vanished in a burst of light. The adventure, it seemed, was far from over. Thank you for tuning into this episode of The Broken Time Machine. If you enjoyed this journey through a world unenlightened by Einstein's genius, don't forget to subscribe to Quaver TV. And be sure to check out the links in our bio for more mind-bending adventures through broken dimensions. Until next time, keep your space-time continuum continuous and your physics revolutionary.